Well, hello, folks. I'm Cuz Strickland. Welcome to the Wildlife Ridge Outdoors Podcast, brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties, Hart Realty. We specialize in selling farms, land, recreational hunting, and residential properties right here in the great state of Kentucky. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or new to the great outdoors, this podcast is your go-to resource. We'll dive deep into everything from land and farm management to conservation, hunting tips, and don't worry, there'll be plenty of hunting stories along the way. If you're passionate about the outdoors, you're in the right place. Our goal here is to help each of you live your best life outdoors.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Wildlife Ridge Outdoors Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Thomas. In the house tonight, we also have our co-host, Cameron Clonch, with us. And we're going to have a really good show for you tonight. Cameron's got a guest that he wants to introduce to everybody. And so I'll turn it over to Cameron. Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Been busy with training all day. Been trying to knock out some hours of training so that I can better serve our clients. And been just keeping up with everything and got some listings coming in the market. And man, it's been a busy time. And but yeah, everything's going good. You've been doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing good. Been staying busy. It's kind of like you've put some properties under contract, working on trying to find some new listings. That's the biggest problem that I see right now for our state. The market's heating up, so we're doing a lot of transactions, which is a good thing. But getting inventory to come behind that has been the hardest thing. So I've been out trying to talk to everybody, saying, "Hey, if you got a piece of property you're interested in selling, give us an opportunity to sit down with you. Let us sell it for you." And just like you and me went the other day out to a farm, toured it, talked to the owner, trying to put a great program together to help this individual sell their property. So that's kind of what I've been doing, just out in inventory recruitment mode.
That's what it takes. You know as well as I do. But yeah, figured tonight. Had a guy by the name of Merle Whitmer, works for, or he sells, I should say, sells Nxt Gen Hunting Blinds. He reached out to me, I'd say probably a month or two ago, and, you know, because of the power of the brand, Mossy Oak, reached out to me and basically was kind of giving me some information on his blinds and basically was telling me, you know, if you got some clients that buy some property to deer hunt or whatever, I'd be more than glad to help them get a blind. And here's my information. And I was like, well, heck, dude. I mean, why don't you just hop on a podcast? So everything looks awesome. I've checked out the website and talked a little bit to Merle here and there. But I'd like to let him formally introduce himself to the listeners.
Hey, y'all. My name, like Cameron said, is Merle Whitmer. I'm from Flemingsburg, Kentucky, which is just south of Ohio, close to Maysville. Yeah, wife and a kid. Love to hunt and fish. Pretty busy as a school teacher. I teach at our church school. I'm a middle school teacher. And I sell blinds and do some excavation on the side. So
you're kind of a jack of all trades.
It's pretty well, yeah. A little bit of construction here and there if I pick up a project.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, what do you do? You said you teach middle school. Do you pretty much teach all topics, or math, agriculture? You know, what do you teach?
Yeah, so we have a pretty small school, and I have a couple grades, and I'll teach all the topics in the grades. So it keeps them pretty busy, but it's great. You get to know the kids really well. Smaller school, which is awesome.
Well, that's good to hear. So tell me, you know, who introduced you to the outdoors? What drew you to the outdoors, and what still fires your passion to being outdoors today?
Yeah, so I grew up on a farm in northwest Pennsylvania, and there is water and woods everywhere up there. My older brothers were outdoorsmen, I mean, they'd hunt and fish pretty much any chance they got. My dad was not a hunter. He actually did not like hunting, but he went and bought a gun and an orange vest to take us deer hunting. Bless his heart. He never shot one, but he took us out for probably 15 or 20 years over the course of my brothers and my hunting experience there. But my brothers really got me into it. They would take me fishing and untangle my line and tell me what I was doing wrong. And yeah, they're pretty patient, which is really nice in older brothers.
Oh, I was just going to say it's kind of like me. You know, my family introduced me to the outdoors, and I was always outdoors doing different things. Of course, when I was growing up, pretty much when you woke up, the parents kicked you out the front door and didn't tell you to come back till dark. Kind of like what they always talk about Gen X. So we always spent all of our times in the outdoors. But he's the one that kind of really introduced me to the hunting woods, and I just fell in love with it, and always had a lot of passion for the outdoors.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I kind of had a similar upbringing. I mean, my dad, whenever I was like in the sixth grade, we had a really bad car accident and messed him up pretty bad, and he's pretty much never been the same. I mean, he still gets around, but I mean, it broke his back in like two different places, and then on top of that, he'd already had like 7 or 8 knee surgeries, and then he ended up breaking his femur, and uh, I don't know. He's like made of metal at this point. But growing up, I mean, I had my uncle and my cousin. Uh, they took me turkey hunting and deer hunting, and they're the ones that introduced me to the outdoors, and I owe them the world because it's my favorite hobby. I mean, I ever since I was little, I've always enjoyed being uh, outdoors and stuff, and hunting and turkey hunting and deer hunting, whatever. I don't deer hunt quite like I used to. But with that being said, I mean, Merle, what's your favorite outdoor hobby, whether that be hunting or fishing or farming or whatever? I mean, what you like to deer hunt mostly, or what do you like the most?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Basically, whatever's in season. So turkey season, I'd probably tell you my favorite hobby is turkey hunting. If I was smallmouth fishing and catching a pile of them, I'd probably tell you smallmouth fishing is my favorite thing. Um, so basically, just whatever gets me outdoors that season. I really love deer hunting.
Way. You said you love deer hunting.
I really love deer hunting. Yeah, I don't get out as much uh, since my daughter was born last year. I had to really scale back, but I still get out as often as I can. Eat a lot of it. That's a big part of it. We love deer meat, and
Ain't nothing like a good backstrap.
that's right. And just the awesomeness of like a cool evening or whatever, and watching deer when they don't know you're there is pretty awesome.
Man, I don't deer hunt like I say. I don't deer hunt like I used to. And I mean, uh, kind of hitting on what you were saying. I mean, I have always been, well, I shouldn't say always, but ever since I started duck hunting, I mean, that's been my number one passion. But I guess since working for Mossy Oak and just being around a bunch of like-minded individuals, and obviously, if you know Mossy Oak, then you probably know a little bit about the wild turkey. I mean, I just go hand in hand. But dude, this turkey season has been one for the books, and I mean, I don't even know. I, my wife was making fun of me the other night. Like I was talking to her, I was like, I've always, like, ever since you've known me, I've always been, um, super, super passionate about duck hunting, and think about it 24/7, every day of the week. But golly, since about February rolled around, I've been nothing but turkey, and I mean, I've always enjoyed turkey hunting, but I don't know, there's something different about this year. And then the season that I ended up having, I mean, it just made it worse. So, but yeah, I mean, you said you like to deer hunt, and uh, I'm right there with you on the being able to or liking deer meat. I mean, man, there ain't nothing better than having a cool October morning. My aunt makes some phenomenal deer chili, and my mouth's watering thinking about it right now. But golly, man, them deer are just something else. I mean, I don't think there's a piece of meat on them that's bad to me.
You got it.
But yeah, so I want to talk to you a little bit. We've introduced you and got to know you a little bit, and for our listeners, I kind of want to know what made you want to get into working in the outdoor industry, and particularly, being a sales representative for Next Gen Hunting Blinds.
Yeah, good question. So I was looking for a sideline, something I could do weekends and during the summer when I'm not teaching. I knew the guys from Next Gen, so I actually grew up with the main salesman, or the one or two of the guys that work in the office there. So I knew that, and they were after me a little bit to start a dealership here in Kentucky, or we had discussed it a few times. And I like the product. I also love the outdoors and thought it'd be cool to sell something to other people who love the outdoors. I thought it would be fun, get out, see some people's farms, maybe set up a few blinds for them, make a little cash while I'm at it. Yeah, just a good deal all around.
Yeah, I mean, you love what you do, though. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I mean, I tell people all the time, like, I like working for Mossy Oak, and pretty much the same reasons that you just said. I love I love working for Mossy Oak and going out and showing a property, and basically, kind of it just allows me to align my passion for hunting and helping others. I've always liked to see others succeed and see other people happy. And I mean, it's just, there's something special about it to me whenever, you get somebody that's looking for a place to hunt and place to take their kids, whatever. But just to, be able to enjoy God's creation, just be able to pass along the passion that I have for hunting, so to speak.
Oh, I hear you there.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. One of the things that I'd like to ask is, just like you and me was talking before the show, I'm at a point in time where my hunting style's changing. How I want to hunt, the way I want to hunt has changed for various reasons and this and that. But I come to you and tell you what I'm looking for, and you introduced me to your blind. So tell me a little bit about the Next Gen blind. What's different about it in the marketplace? What does it allow you to do? And what's different about it?
Yeah, good question. I think the first thing you'd notice is the windows, which if you've ever hunted out of a box blind, the window just makes the blind. So you can hunt out of a fancy blind with nasty windows and you'll hate the thing. And you can hunt out of a little lower grade blind with good windows and you'll love it. At least that's what me and my friends have found. So the Next Gen blinds have slider windows, which basically means they slide straight up, as opposed to a swinging window. Main thing on that, if you swing a window, I mean, you can be as quiet as you want, but the animals still will likely notice the glare change. So you've probably noticed the glare bouncing off your watch or whatever if you're out in the sun and you see it reflect into your face and go all over the place. And that's kind of what happens when you swing a window. With the slider, it just goes from slightly reflective to just deep black. So the windows in the blind are tinted to keep it dark. And so it just goes from a little bit reflective to black when the window goes up. So that'd probably be the first thing. Next Gen offers double pane windows, and they're less likely to fog. So basically, if you have cold air outside the blind, warm air inside the blind, it's going to be condensation on the inside of the windows with a single pane. And Next Gen offers a double pane. Now, we also offer a single pane, but double pane is really great, especially if you're hunting a little farther north and you have some colder weather. Maybe you're hunting late season. Double pane is really the ticket for that.
If I'm interested in buying your product and I order it, do I have to go order it and pick it up directly from a dealer, or is it something that can be shipped to my house? And if so, how does it come? Does it come in just different panels that you assemble yourself? Tell me how that works.
Yeah, so there are several options. We could possibly drop ship it. I could deliver it to you. I could also set it up for you if you want me to. But yeah, the blind comes as a set of panels, which is about 10 panels, and a roof and a floor. And it's super easy to put up. Once you put one or two up, you can get them up in 2 hours, no problem. Basically, you about have to watch the process for it to make much sense. But basically, you just set the panels up, screw each panel to the other one as you work your way around the blind, and then put the roof on top and put the door in place, and then put the trim on, and you're good to go. So it's really portable. Maybe if you're hunting way back in, can't get a truck back in, or you don't want to take a machine to set up a prefab blind, you can just take this back in on your ATV trailer or something, set it up yourself. You don't have to get an operator in to put it on top of a tower. You can build the tower on site with the blind, basically with the blind on top, and it's really easy to put up yourself.
Okay, yeah, it was something that I was curious about. Where are all your, I guess, local dealers in the state of Kentucky? Is it mainly they just order through you guys, or do y'all have actual dealerships set up throughout the state?
So I can't speak for the southern and western part. I am the dominant dealer here in the north and eastern part. And basically, we'll try to get a blind to you somehow or another. Most likely, it'll be me dropping it off. I just started up last summer selling these, so I don't have a large range of places for you to go to look at them. But I would be happy to send you information or tell you where you could go to look at one if you'd be interested. And then I would probably deliver the blind to you or your client, or whoever's wanting it.
Is there any particular, I guess, like let's say feed places, TSC type deals that currently have them set up to where you can buy them, or do y'all have them kind of locations set up?
We have, I've actually set up several mini barn lots since they're set up for that type of sale already. I'm still pretty small in this area. And I am working at expanding the reach. So I don't really have many at feed stores or TSC at this point. Basically, if we would, it would be, you might find a brochure and business card with a number on it. Probably not an actual blind there to look at.
Oh, no problem. I'm really interested in them. I'm gonna take a deeper look into them and see where they're at, and I'm sure I'll be giving you a call to pick your brains on it real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I pulled pull up your map here on your website while you all were talking, and looks like you got a couple dealers over over Paul's Way. You got one. You got two right around Bowling Green and Elizabethtown area. Looks like Trophy Ridge Archery and Cub Run, and then one just outside of Bowling Green. It didn't show the dealer's name on that one. It just says Dustin Weaver. Looks like, I guess he's a representative as well. But one of my questions is kind of, as I've been looking over your brochures and that you sent me, and by the way, thanks for that, because if anybody ever ask about some blinds that I recommend or whatever, I mean, I'd be happy to give them a brochure. But what's the difference? I've been looking on here, and I kind of want you to hit on a few different things. First, what's the difference between the Classic Series and the Deluxe Series?
Yeah, good question. That has a lot to do with the windows. The Classic would have a single pane. Deluxe would have double pane. It also has a little bit to do with the insulation. The Deluxe would have a little more insulation than the Classic.
I got you. So, like, is there some type of like foam or for some type of insulation that kind of keeps the cold out, or is it just like a better wind barrier?
Yeah. So basically, on the Deluxe, there would be a foam board. So the whole thing is carpeted inside, which helps deaden your sound. So you can't really see the actual what's between the exterior and the carpet. But on the Deluxe, there would be a foam board like behind the carpet. That'll help some with warmth. The blind is tight enough that it totally cuts the wind, and if you're sitting in there, you'll probably keep it warm enough. If you have any kind of jacket or whatever on, unless it is really cold, you'll be pretty comfortable. It really helps. It also helps with the sound. So the foam in there helps deaden the sound. And I must say, inside the blind, it is just dead quiet. With the carpet from the floor to the ceiling, it is just dead quiet. And that's one thing you might compare some other manufacturers in the blind market. Not just a whole lot of them have carpet the whole way around, which is kind of surprising. But it actually makes a big difference to have it floor, walls, ceiling. I mean, it is quiet and comfortable inside.
Yeah, and then I'm looking on here too. Looks like you got some accessories that you can kind of pick and choose. You got like a window ledge and shelves, and then like a solid panel. It says, and then 5-foot trailer kit with a 5-foot tower. So, one of my questions on that is, I mean, do you have to have a trailer for these, or is that just to kind of help with, transporting them to and from wherever you're hunting, or to move them around, different locations? Say if you set it up in a food plot, what does all that entail?
Yeah, you pretty well hit it there with the trailer. Basically, that's for someone who wants the mobility to move it around on their farm. You do not have to have the trailer. They'll sit right on the ground if you want it, or you can put them up 10 feet, 12 feet in the air if you want. If you want a slightly cheaper option than the trailer, you can get a stand, which we also offer. It's aluminum stand. Or tower, they call it. I don't know of anyone else that sells an aluminum tower. I'm not saying there is not, but it's not super common. So it's a really light, easy to move tower that you can buy as well. Or you can go really cheap and just build your own tower out of 4x4s and 2x4s, which you can, if you put up yourself, you can do for less than $100. So there's options there for towers. But yeah, back to the trailer. That's basically if you want to be able to move it from one end of the field to the other, or food plot to maybe ag field, whatever you're looking for there.
So Merle, let's say I'm up here in Hart County, and I just bought one of the Nxt Gen Blinds, but I need some help setting it up. Maybe I'm physically not able to set it up, or whatever it is that may be going on, and I got this nice little cornfield that I want to set up in a corner on with this blind, and I call you and say, hey, I need help with this. Kind of tell me how that works. What all do y'all do? What do you not do? What does the owner need to provide? What can y'all provide for us? And kind of go over what that entails and what you do.
Sure. So I would bring it out, and we'd go back into where you'd want it. And if you wanted to help, or if you just wanted me to set it up, it'd be fine. Basically, you would have your tower option picked out, whether it's aluminum tower or trailer, or just 4x4s and 2x4s. You'd have that picked out, and then we would just build it, and probably be in and out in about 2 hours. Pretty easy to take it from just looks like a pile of materials to a really cool hunting blind. I can help you with setting it up, or I can do it myself. Or if you feel like tackling a fun project, if you want to do it yourself, that'd be fine.
So when y'all do that, do you basically just charge? In my case, would y'all just charge me just time and travel to do that? Is that basically what y'all do on the setup, or do y'all kind of have just a basic fee for setup?
So I have a $250 fee for setup. And then also I would charge a delivery fee based on how far I have to drive.
All right. That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that would be, I could see that being a service that wouldn't surprise me if it gets utilized quite a bit, really.
Mm-hmm. If you buy multiple, that price does go down.
Okay.
So if I'm making a trip with one blind, it's obviously going to be more expensive than if I make a trip with 4 blinds for a guy with a bigger farm, maybe.
All right. That's awesome.
So with turkey season wrapping up here in Kentucky, this past weekend, a lot of the diehard deer hunters, I mean, they might take a week off, here and there to go with their family to the beach or take a vacation or whatever. But I know a lot of guys, they're going to be out there setting up trail cameras, and they probably already been maintaining their food plots, and basically getting staying locations prepped, and probably doing exactly what we're talking about, trying to find some new blinds maybe, or whatever. What does your preseason kind of look like? I mean, I know that you talked a little bit about having a kid, and congratulations on that. That's a miracle. Of itself, God given, and that's awesome, and happy for you.
Well, thank you.
I do know that that's probably going to take some time away from hunting. But what's your preseason kind of looking like?
Yeah, you're right. It does take some time away, which is fine. I don't begrudge that at all. It's pretty mild this year. We have a couple food plots that we hoping to have better success on than we did last year. It just barely came up. It was so dry, and we planted at the wrong time. and we had pretty poor food plots. So we're gonna try to fix that up this year. Few cameras putting out, setting up a few stands, taking a few down, and then bow practice. I'll be shooting my bow all summer, hopefully. Trying to get deadly again with that. Last couple of years, I've let that slip a little bit, but I'm hoping to get a little better this summer again.
So let me ask you.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, what food plots do you normally plant? Like, what is your go-to food plot?
Yeah, so we like something that'll be good late season. The deer seem to move on to the farm that we hunt after gun season. I mean, they're there some before, but they really move on after. So we shoot for stuff like radishes, basically anything that'll still be around in January. We've seen some really nice deer after gun season. So it's a fun challenge to try to get something that makes it through the cold.
Yeah, my go-to's always been clover. I got a 3-species blend of clover that I've always used and does really great in the winter. Obviously, it can get a little wimpy a little bit during the summer, but I have found that it's easier for me to maintain and to keep a nice year-round food plot, and especially if you go out and frost seed in January and then keep it sprayed and clipped during the summertime. Just makes it a lot easier because I can go out there twice a year, usually on my farm, and spray it and really control a lot of the grasses and weeds that get in it. And then I get enough deer browse that, they usually keep it mowed for me, so I don't have to get in there and mow it all the time. It every now and then I'll mix, just like you said, a brassicas, turnips or whatever in it, but I've always just kind of been a clover kind of guy myself.
So, I mean, I'm really kind of thinking I might get back into deer hunting, but I mean, my gosh, I mean, with all the travel I do with duck season, and then I'm wanting to kind of travel a little bit for turkey season as well. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether or not I want to do the super slam or not. I mean, I just enjoy the hunt, and I don't really want to make it feel like a job, so to speak. I don't even know if that's how I would put it, but I mean, I guess some people will understand that. I mean, I don't know, but anyways, I mean, I'm looking to possibly get in or get back into deer hunting. I used to bow hunt whenever I was younger, back in the later part of my high school years and into college. And my question to you is, you said that you really prefer to bow hunt. What bow do you use, and what kind of gear and camo do you take in the woods? And I promise you, it won't hurt my feelings if you don't say mossy oak, but I'll understand, if you've not killed any big deer, why either. So I'm just joking.
I gotcha. I shoot Hoyt bows, and some of them are old enough to look like they came out of an archaeological dig. So I'm not too picky. I would love to upgrade. Maybe one of these years I'll decide it's worth the pennies to buy a new one. I do mainly have mossy oak camo, come to think of it. It's a little mismatched, but I don't really mind. I think it helps them blend in better. And if I'm a chunk of the same thing, have a few different colors and shades, I think helps them blend in a little better. A couple of years ago, I made my own ghillie suit, and that's been a lot of fun to hunt with. Hunt right on the ground, get eyeball to eyeball with them. That's been a lot of fun.
So you bow hunt from the ground in a ghillie suit?
I have. I really get a kick out of it. I don't do it too often because it's so hard to actually shoot something.
Right.
But I have shot a few deer from the ground. Yes.
Man, that's awesome. I didn't realize we were talking to a certified killer here.
I don't think I qualify for that. It's more like a lucky if I get one, pretty delighted type of guy.
I mean, heck, for people that are just getting into hunting, our listeners here, I mean, they probably don't understand quite how challenging it would be to even pull back, which means draw your bow on a deer from the ground. But I mean, for you to say that you've taken a couple of deer, wearing a homemade ghillie suit, from the ground, no blind or nothing. I mean, that's I don't even know what to say to that. That's pretty cool.
Something I've been wanting to get into, but haven't made the dive yet, is traditional archery. I think it'd be the best to shoot one. I mean, I would just love to shoot one with a recurve, but I don't currently even own a recurve, so that's a few years down the road yet.
Yeah, I mean that would be another challenge in and of itself. I mean, bow hunting's challenging enough, but when you add in a traditional bow, I mean, my gosh! But with all the technology that we have nowadays, I mean, I've heard it on another podcast, we've become a better predator, so to speak. So I mean, I think it's sometimes cool to watch these YouTube videos and hear people talking about going back, the oldest of old school ways, to take a deer or turkey or whatever. I actually have a buddy. Um, he and I ended up doubling this year in Ohio during turkey season, and he was telling me, he has a small company, Fall and Feather company, but he sells hats and shirts and stickers and dog training supplies and whatnot. But we were talking about how just with all the technology and calls that we have nowadays and decoys, he's like, one of the things that I really would like to do in the next couple of years is use my old great grandpa's flintlock, go in with a khaki or brown or neutral colored pants and a red flannel and kill a turkey. And I was like, dude, like if you done that, like people will be worshiping you up here. But yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, I definitely. I mean, I would. I mean, I already commend you enough for trying to take them with a bow, because I think that's honestly. I mean, I think I've killed one deer with a bow, and I kind of just hung it up because there's a few things here and there that had happened, and I got tired of watching big bucks on camera, and then going out there and finding out later that the neighbor across the way, they ended up shooting it during gun season or whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about getting back into it, and I'm looking at a few different bows. And you'd mentioned that you got some old bows, and heck, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, one of the bows that comes to my mind, I know my uncle owns one. Uh, I don't know if you've seen the story. I think Realty done a story on the guy from here in Greenup County that killed that big buck. I think it was back in 2020 or 2021 with a Matthews Z7. I mean, that bow's been around for years, and that thing's a killer. So, I mean, for our listeners, you don't have to have the best of the best, and you don't have to go out and spend, $4,000 on a bow and uh, the best sight and all that. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, you can shoot straight, and you comfortably draw it back and hit your target. I mean, that's literally the end goal, is just to make the quickest and efficient kill as possible. So
if you get ready to do your traditional hunting, you let me know. I'll get you in contact with a guy that's if I'm not mistaken, this past deer season, I think he killed the state record for traditional archery. I'll get you in contact with him. I'm sure he can give you a whole lot of pointers and tips and kind of help you along the way in that regard. But just talking about being on the ground, I've had several times, whether with a gun or even a bow, kind of do a little stalk on some deer and just ease my way around the farm and just sitting up next to a tree waiting and go down the road a little further, wait, go down the road a little further and wait. It's a fun way to challenge yourself. I mean, the main thing is as long as you keep the wind in the right direction and you take your time, you can get them from a ground just like you can from a deer stand. It's just a matter of using all the tools you have available and watching your scent, and you can be successful that way for sure. So let me ask you this: as far as a new person comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to get into deer hunting," do you got any tips or tricks that I can use? What would be your advice to a new hunter? What here, you need to do this first and this first, or learn this and learn this. What would you recommend?
Well, I tend to be impatient and like try to get places real fast and whatever. But if you want to actually kill stuff, you just have to slow down and be silent. I mean, sometimes you got to move, and maybe if you're trying to get ahead of a turkey, you might have to hustle, and it doesn't really matter if you're pretty far away. But if you're actually getting close enough, maybe if you're bow hunting, you have to just slow down and not make any more noise than necessary. I'm still learning that. Hard for me to slow myself down, especially going to and from a stand. It's easy to just rush in and out, and then you'll see tails bouncing down through the woods, and that's kind of the end of the stand for the season often. What we were talking about earlier, it's easy, like in today's world, there's so much stuff to buy, and might be a hypocrite saying this because I have stuff for sale in the outdoor industry, but so much stuff to buy, but you just don't, gear can't replace skills. I mean, you can have the best equipment, but if you can't use it, you can't kill nothing with it. Or if you're not sneaky enough, make too much noise, even if you can shoot far, you'll be spooking animals before they get into range. Especially if you're bow hunting.
Yeah, I agree with you on
Yeah, I
there.
like that.
So to me, it's always been about being silent, watching how I come in, come out, and watching my scent control. And if I can do all those things, I feel like I've got a better chance of being successful for sure.
I like the way you put it. It doesn't matter what gear you have. I mean, nothing replaces skill, and I mean, you can develop a skill without getting out there and doing it and failing. And I mean, I'm by far from accredited deer hunter. I mean, I've shot a couple deer, here and there. I've just never really got into it, and I mean, heck, maybe I will. I don't know. But I mean, I was sitting here thinking, like I said, or like you said, nothing replaces skill. And I just, for our listeners, if you're getting into hunting, or, you just got a couple of years in, I mean, my advice, and I mean, Merle, tell me if you disagree or not, but I mean, I think the the biggest thing I've learned, especially over the last couple of years, is don't be afraid to make mistakes, or if you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up about it, but learn from that mistake. Try not to make the same mistake twice. But I mean, as long as you're out there and you're trying, I mean, eventually things are going to add up, and you're going to learn, what to do and what not to do, and what's got you, close and whatever. But like I said, I think the biggest thing, especially for a new hunter, is just to get out there experience it, and don't be afraid to make a mistake. And if you do, just learn from it, move on, and tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, for me, I often learn more from where I messed up than from where I actually shot something. Uh, and basically, for me, any interaction with an animal, especially close range, I mean, there's so much to learn. And even if you end up spooking the deer or the turkey or whatever, you can figure out why you spooked it or what you could have done different to not spook it. It's not a wasted moment.
Oh, exactly. And I think, like one of the perfect examples that I can I can think of right off the top of my head is, turkey hunting. You know, you see a lot of people, and I mean, I've done it, especially whenever I was, younger and uh, trying to learn from people older than me and that have been doing it longer than me is, you see people post on Facebook, or you'll get a text and be like, well, like somebody will, say, hey, I bumped these turkeys, and or I shot and missed, and how long do you think it'll be before they come back or whatever. And this is something I realized this year, um, just because this year I really tried to slow some things down. Um, I just moved here to Ashland about 2.5 years ago, and I mean, this is new terrain for me. Back home in Somerset, I'd hunted some hardwoods during turkey season, but a lot of my hunting was fields. And so whenever I came up here, it's just a new terrain and kind of a new way of hunting. But this year, I just made it a point to learn every time I went out. And I mean, it sounds dumb, and because it's an obvious thing, but I mean, think about, it doesn't matter if it's deer or turkey or duck or whatever. I mean, they're a wild animal, and so they're always going to be on guard. They're always going to try to have the edge on you. A deer is going to use its, um, you know, super sense of smell. A turkey's going to use its super sense of sight. Um, I mean, ducks, same thing. They're going to use their sight. But I mean, the thing is it doesn't matter if you're out there or not. They're constantly being chased by coyotes or, deer. They're same thing, coyotes, wolves, dogs. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's things that are constantly pursuing them. So, I mean, just because you go out there and you make a mistake, or mess up or get upwind of a deer, whatever. I mean, tomorrow's a new day, and you just got to learn from your mistakes and move on. And eventually, I mean, you'll end up with a deer or turkey or whatever, and you'll be a better hunter because of it. So yeah, Merle, I really want to just say thank you for hopping on the podcast tonight, and telling us a little bit about yourself, and telling our listeners about about the Next Gen Hunting Blinds, and just information on that, and kind of sharing some hunting knowledge as well. But if somebody wanted to order one of these, or get a hold of you, or wanted to learn some more information about these blinds, tell us how they could get a hold of you.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thanks a lot for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. You guys are great. If you want to get a hold of me to order a blind, you can either call or text. Um, I will try to take your call, but if I miss it, you can just leave a message and I'll just let me know what you want and I will give you a call back. My phone number, 724-893-6094. Again, 724-893-6094. And my email, that's mw@daystar.email. Again, mw@daystar.email. Yeah, feel free to shoot me a text or email or give me a call. I'll happily talk to you there. If you forgot what I just said there, or don't have a pen to write it down, you can find it on Nxt Gen's website, and they've been doing a little bit of reshuffling on there. So if my number is not up right away, it should be up in a day or two. So you should be able to find it on Nxt Gen's website if you weren't able to write it down.
And the website, that's Nxt Gen Hunting Blinds, and that's NXT GEN Hunting Blinds.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, man, like I said, I really do appreciate you hopping on here, and I'm sure we'll be talking back and forth all throughout the year. And I know Paul can say the same thing. And we wish you nothing but the best. And man, send us some pictures of the big deer you kill this year.
All right, we'll do. Yeah, it's been great being on. So.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
The roads we take in life don't just take us someplace physically, but also spiritually. And the best roads we take aren't paved, but dirt or gravel. When we leave the pavement, we leave the outside world behind. We tend to focus on what really matters: our families, our friendships, and the land and wildlife we share with those people. At Mossy Oak Properties, we get that, which is why when you need the road to lead to your favorite place, we're your land specialists. Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place.